Hi guys, my name is Katie and welcome to this video for Key Stage 2 English. In this video I'm going to focus on adjectives. So before I get into some practice questions and some top tips about what adjectives are, our How to Become Key Stage 2 English guide will really help you and your child to prepare for their Key Stage 2 English SATs exams. And in this book contains our fun, interactive superhero characters, and they're there to help you achieve 100. So what are adjectives? So adjectives are words that describe nouns, okay? So remember, nouns are words that name something. So the adjective will describe that something in more detail. So let's have a look at these few examples. So it was a beautiful day. So the word beautiful is the adjective because the day is the noun and the beautiful is describing what that day is actually like. So that strange sound. So it's not just a sound, it's strange. So the strange is the adjective. So the roads were icy, so therefore the word icy is describing what the roads were like. Tommy's feet are tiny. So again, this adjective of tiny is describing the noun, which is Tommy's feet. So I love bright colours. So it's not just colours that they love, it's bright colours. And finally, I hate cold, rainy days. So this one uses two adjectives, cold and rainy, to show how much the person hates cold days and rainy days. So where do they appear in a sentence? So adjectives can be placed either before or after the noun. So look at the examples. Can you see how the adjectives can be placed in different parts of the sentence? So the adjective doesn't always have to go right next to the word it's describing. So for example, Sam's dog is old and fluffy. So the adjectives are old and fluffy, but the noun is the dog, and you can see that it's not right next to the noun. So the pirate's treasure was gold. So again, the noun is the treasure and the adjective describing the noun is gold, and again it's not right next to each other, okay? So the adjectives can appear anywhere in the sentence. So comparative adjectives. So adjectives can also be used to compare different things. So these can tell you if something is better, bigger or smaller. So Rachel's dog is older, Linda is smaller, Tim is more careful than Rob, Amy is more elegant than Anne. We also have superlative adjectives which show us whether something's the most, least, best or worst. So revising is the worst, Harry weighs the least, dogs are the most popular choice, Ellie is the smartest girl in her class. Okay, so let's have a look at some quick practice questions. So here is our superhero Lolita and she needs your help. So underline all of the adjectives in the sentences below, okay? So for this, I want you to write out the sentences that I'm going to show you now, okay? So get a blank piece of paper and a pen and write these sentences as I say them out loud. So Charlie's hands were sticky after eating his giant lollipop. So that's the first sentence. The atrocious weather conditions resulted in all trains to be delayed. So that's your second sentence. The frightened young boy sat in the dark corner terrified. So that's your third sentence. It was a bitter cold night and the rain was ice cold. So for these sentences, what you need to do is underline all of the adjectives. I'm going to give you a few minutes so you can quickly read through these sentences again and then underline the adjectives, okay? So have a few moments and underline the adjectives in the sentences I've just shown you, okay? So how are you getting on? So if you're still working through, don't worry, you can always pause this video and carry on. If not, I'm going to work through what adjectives are portrayed in the sentences, okay? So let's have a look at sentence 1. So Charlie's hands were sticky after eating his giant lollipop. So the adjectives in this sentence are the words sticky and giant. The words sticky are describing Charlie's hands, and the word giant is describing the size of the lollipop. Okay, so sentence 2. So the atrocious weather conditions resulted in all trains to be delayed. So the adjectives is atrocious, okay, because it's describing what the weather conditions were like. The frightened young boy sat in the dark corner terrified. So here I've underlined the words frightened, young, dark and terrified, okay. So frightened and young is describing the boy. The dark corner, so the corner has been described as being dark. And again, terrified is describing the noun, which was the boy, okay? And like I said, the adjective doesn't always have to come next to the noun, okay? So the frightened young boy sat in the dark corner terrified. So those are your 4 adjectives. So finally, it was a bitter cold night and the rain was ice cold. So your adjectives are bitter cold and ice, because bitter cold is describing the night and the word ice is describing how cold it actually was. Okay, so that's practice question 1. So let's have a look at another quick practice question. So use the table and write the adjectives in both their comparative form and superlative form. Okay, so we've got the words tiny, lonely, boring, safe, noisy, narrow. So again, draw this out on a blank piece of paper, pause this video and have a go at answering this question. So you're finding the adjectives comparative form and superlative form, okay? Okay, so how are you getting on? So if you haven't quite finished, make sure that you pause the video so you make sure you get all the answers. But if you do have all the answers, let's work through them together. Okay, so the word tiny is our adjective. So the comparative word for tiny would be tinier, and superlative is tiniest. Okay, so you're comparing 2 different ways. So comparative is tinier, but superlative, is the tiniest, because that's the least tiniest thing. So lonely, so we've got lonelier and loneliest. Boring would be more boring for your comparative and most boring for your superlative. Safer and safest. Noisier and noisiest. And narrower and narrowest. So there are your answers for this question. Okay, so that gives you some idea of what adjectives are all about. And that does complete this video, but I do have loads of other Key Stage 2 English videos on the Career Vids channel. So make sure that you subscribe, because it is free and you will be kept up to date with more of my upcoming Key Stage 2 English videos. And remember, don't forget to have a look at our Key Stage 2 English is Easy Grammar, Punctuation and Spelling Guide, because there's loads more practice questions on a variety of different English techniques. So for more practice questions, click on the link below this video and it will take you directly to our How to Become Key Stage 2 English page, where you can purchase this guide. Thank you for watching. I hope this has helped, and if you do have any questions, then please drop me a message below this video and I'll be happy to help. Take care for now.